that thing that goes around your waist, that magical belt, raises the intensity. I've got to be honest, it hasn't happened in this fight.
No, it hasn't. That's the thing. I'm hoping that the tournament now will have fired the two fighters, because I honestly cannot see much difference between these two. It's going to be, as I said before, the judge's nightmare, this one, Malcolm, because they're not, they're really going to have to look with their eyes wide open here to find something that's separating these two.
Because let's be honest, when you and I, and it's always informal, it's only an informed opinion, we're not judging. We always say we look for someone to give us a reason to give them that round. And I just feel in a title fight, a European title fight, neither man is really showing us that he's desperate to win this.
No, it's just like a normal fight. And, I say that respectfully for these two. I mean, crikey, the good fighters, they've had the stats on these two. I just feel, as we've said just before, Malcolm, that they've got similar styles, and they're not been allowed to actually do what they're both good at. I mean, I think it's only the fact that Vatsana has got more fights, 10 more fights, that he's actually showing anything. And I think if, they'd have both exactly the same number of fights, we wouldn't see anything at all differently. But that's the only thing that if I had to do, I'm looking for something as a judge's point of view, and I'm not saying about who's had the most fights who will win the fight, it's not that at all. What I'm saying is, that well, the next 10 fights are just giving him a little bit of more a range of movement and showing, a little more confidence perhaps. And again, not always confidence will win a fight, but, the judge just got to look for something.
I'm quite frustrated from a personal position because I feel he is fighting within himself. I feel there's so much more left in him in between rounds. He's dancing in front of us, he's jigging about, he's moving, he's looking at his corner, he's smiling. I'm thinking this is round 4 or 5. Channel some of that into the round to see what Salva's got in the tank.
Yes, I don't like the feeling. Yeah, I mean, I do like the feeling. I don't want two fighters at the end of the fight start running about and jumping. Nice. You have cross off. You start using your hands a little bit better. But yeah, when you start, doing a lot of stuff afterwards, or like you said, in between the rounds, then really save it for the most important time, which is the fight time.
Because if he's got that energy, turn up the heat on Salva and see how he responds.
Yeah. Because I think he would respond too. Salva's that type of fighter. I've watched him fight a couple of times before, and I know that he can actually turn it on. I thought, in fact, it was up here in Darlington. I brought a fighter up, 2 fighters, sorry, to fight England versus France, and there was 10 bouts on Malcolm, and we lost 9. And the only person to win, the gentleman stood in front of us now.
Because sometimes when you ask questions, they're answered, and it raises the game, it raises the fight totally. And I don't think either man has stepped up to the plate, really, and started to ask those questions seriously with halfway through round 4 with only 1 round to go.
I think we need one of the ring girls or something to shit that. Instead of going around the ring side, you go around with the belt and say that she's going to take it home if one of them 2 don't. That might inspire them a little bit.
You see here, Vatsana, he's playing again. And he's very nonchalant, but I just feel I'd like to see more of that energy channeled in to asking questions of Salva, because, as you quite rightly said, I would not like to be a judge on this one.
And that's the thing, there is a title belt at stake, and that is something that these two really, really need to know. And then I think we might see we should have seen some more action. And I say this respectfully, obviously, Malcolm. It's easy for us to sit here. It's very easy to sit here and criticise, and we're not like that. But we've got to give a very objective and subjective commentary to the fight that we're actually witnessing here and now. Straight down again. Yeah, he's spending a lot of time in the corner, doing nothing, just showing off a little bit and showing that he's got lots of energy, but why don't you use it in the fight? That's what we say. The body kick just caught him off balance there, Malcolm. It's like a half shin, half knee. It's good timing, but we need to see more of that. That's what I mean. If anything, that round there, I actually could score that round, and I would give that to Blue Corner. But that's the only round that I've actually been able to move the pen from an equal standing of a draw every round to that one.
That's right, because what frustrates me, as you quite rightly mentioned, he turns well, He gets his opponent off balance. He's got sharp, fast hands, and yet there's been a lot of times when he's turned the man and made a miss, and he's been happy with that, rather than capitalise on it.
And final round.
He needs to be more than just happy with it though, Malcolm, doesn't he? And I think, you know, we're going to have to see something in this last round. Good right hand there, yeah. Salva needs to do, he needs to open up a little bit more and bang some combinations together, get his hands and legs working.
Because as you saw there, Vatsana Sedone, very sharp with his hands, very crisp, nice boxing technique. Yeah. He moves fluidly.
Yeah, I just Salva, he needs to put, you know, some good technique together like that. But they just, you know, then there's a gap. Ooh. Seen a nice little elbow there, and Salva got out of the way.
But possibly only the second or third attempted elbow across 5 rounds of full Thai rules, which is disappointing in that respect.
It is. There's too much of this just dancing ways, and this is stuff we normally do in the first round, Malcolm. When you watch 2 Thais fight, that's how they traditionally know to fight. Very slow in the first round, wait to the rope, look for see how the fighter moves, and then start capitalising and build the rounds up. But it's not been a build-up.
You would forgive the lack of elbows if there was so much more going on.
Yeah, obviously we've seen fights where it's full Thai rules, but you've seen that much leather and that much knee and kicking that you can actually forgive them totally for lacking the elbow, because the rest of the action, the other 6 weapons, you know, we're full blades, full guns are firing, you know, but we haven't seen that in this fight. And I say, you know, I'm saying this very respectfully. You know, these guys are obviously turned very hard in this fight.
When you look across to the other corner, Paul in his corner there.
Oh, crikey, yeah, I spotted that. There's a look of lethargy on Paul's face there.
It's almost as if they've been drawn into the style of this fight. Paul's there, he's making a few little comments, then nodding. But that's not what you...
It's not a fight-up corner. I mean, every tournament have you seen that will look like they're fighting themselves in the corner. And it's just... I mean, look at the look on them. You're right, well spotted.
Is this the 5th and final round of the European title fight?
Yeah, it's just not happened this fight, does it? And when these 2 fighters look back at the fight on TV, they might realise that, you know, and again, you know, if you listen to this, I hope you're looking for me, but, you know, I know that these 2 can do better. And the fight record says that, Malcolm, so they know that, we know that.
I mean, Paul's gone out of his way. It says in the programme notes that he's got these titles sanctioned by the Thais. They will be defended across Europe. And I feel in that corner himself, he's probably slightly disappointed with the tempo. But there again, if we're going to give these boys leeway, when styles are so similar, it can be a nightmare for you as the fighter as well.
Yes, and we've seen that, Malcolm. I think we've had a bit of a year of that, actually. There's been a few occasions we've been there and we've seen that. And it does make it very hard work for everybody involved. And we're talking about, like, you know, a couple of thousand people in here are all feeling the same thing.
First big right hand there from Salva, right near the end of the fight, went right through the channel and rocked Vatsana for the first time. But I think it's going to be too little too late.
Yeah, but it's the first time the crowd have actually applauded. Good spinning elbow. I mean, the crowd used the Salva fight as well, Malcolm, doesn't it? So it's not just me and you, okay, that we're suffering with, you know, the commentator's nightmare of, you know, of an equal match. And I think he doesn't look pleased. I
think Vatsana thinks he's got this. I think